Right then, good afternoon or good morning, guys and girls. Let's jump into another session. Let's check some Bitcoin data with everyone in the TRDR console. Just keeping an eye on a few assets today, to be honest. ETH as always, but we know what's happening there. It's boring, isn't it? Bitcoin obviously coming from nice demand. Let's go and have a look at that in a second. And then I thought Sol was looking good as well, wicking its trendline lows, just coming up to a little bit of supply now on Sol. AVAX was looking good, and DOGE as well. We won't dwell on altcoins too much right here, right now. We'll have a look at altcoins in more detail in a second. But yeah, let's dive in. Have a quick look. We'll have a quick look. I think we all know where we came from yesterday. Especially, it was nice to see us hit that demand at time of the pre-FOMC with good old JPow. Little bit of a dovish turn from JPow, I suppose. Markets seem to like that a little bit. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's got a lot of work to do, hasn't it? Right, so let's jump in. We'll have a look at Big Dog Bitcoin straight away. Let me just pull up some order book data first off. Right, so here we are. Lot of work to do. I think that's pretty obvious now on Bitcoin. But just first of all, we'll start as we always do on one of the biggest exchanges we've got in the order books, with some of the best data, and that is Binance Spot. Okay, so here we are, and yeah. Beginning of the week, we started to hit demand beginning of the week. It was looking okay, this was very nice. You had this fat order block here, this top level, that was kind of defending price. Overall depth at that point, 600-700 million. Not too bad. The only problem with this whole zone was, I think there was a very much a little bit of a buy the dip mentality going on, as open interest in this zone was on the rise. We can see here, just from this little area, open interest was sustaining at those highs, and funding kept spiking up as well. Why was that? We had quite a lot of retail, smaller fish traders just trying to enter the market, really, as you know, your bigger guys and girls just weren't quite ready to commit. Some people were buying spot around here. Good on them. You know, nothing wrong with that. They're probably, you know, if people are buying spot, they're probably willing to hold it a little bit longer term. But yeah, we did have a little bit of a high open interest rise here, so I thought this was worth a little bit of a try at the beginning of the week. Waking up the next day, it just wasn't to be. From the beginning of the week, we'll just highlight this and go over it quickly before we have a look at other exchanges and what is happening right now. From the beginning of the week, as we did rise up, there was always this level on Binance Perps, okay, and it was down there at that 56.2 area. Hi Ali, how are you doing? We had this Binance Perps level at 56.2. Whenever you are seeing stuff like that, whether it be spot or Perps, you've got to be aware of it, that there's some large entity that wants a fill, okay, so you know, order books were looking good. We had some depth of the book. It was all very nice. But just bear in mind the wider context of what is going on. Open interest was high. Buy the dippers were a little bit too early. That 60k level, which we'll go and have a look at in a second as well, that 60k level had been tested a few times, you know. When you trade in a range, I don't like to see those levels get tested for too long, you know. As you know, and it's the same to the top side as well. You know, if you're long from the lows and you know that top side of that range has been tested 3 or 4 times, you might want to keep a little bit more risk on, knowing that it's more likely to break, you know. And this 60k level, as we come down again, it had been tested a few times. So beginning of the week, we posted in the Discord and said, look, you know, this look okay here, but this might be a better level. This 56k, you know, might be a better level. I can't remember what day that was, Monday or whatever. Subsequently, yeah, we're just grinding down and just filling these orders out, you know. Whenever you see this sort of thing, depth of book looking good, great, bands, overlays, great. It doesn't mean you can't just grind into these and fill them, you know. These entities here, girls and boys of the trading trading world, they want to fill, you know, and especially when you've got a big entity down here. So just to highlight that zone, wasn't particularly looking at like the 58, to be honest, for myself, or any lower. Reason I wasn't looking any lower just at that time is that's my biggest level. It's on Binance Perps, one of the biggest exchanges. 60k, it's been tested a few times. It's probably likely to break. If you are longing from here, let yourself get stopped out, you know, depending on, you know, how you want to play this kind of area. And then we'll review the 56k zone when we get there. We came down and we're hitting BTC diamonds like crazy. Perpetuals obviously here, but the spot order books were looking really, really good as well. Think on Coinbase Pro, they could have pulled that order. What, again, I wasn't watching that one at the time, but yeah, came down. Coinbase Pro have been bid all the way down here, you know, so really, really good. Binance bidding down here. We hit 2 diamonds there, bounced up, got another one later on in the day as well, pre-FOMC. And then this was your usual kind of FOMC volatility. I actually don't think the legacy market in this instance was affecting Bitcoin too much. I know in the wider context it will, but this is just your usual volatility coming from the lows, you know. One thing you don't want to see, and we need to keep in mind, if we are going to take another leg up and start conquering some levels, or if we're just going to put in another higher low here and rotate down, okay, is what you don't want to see is, you'll have to excuse these red lines I've got here that I've just got marked. So I've got the monthly open and a few other bits and bobs marked here. But these top levels here, okay, so these larger offers, you can see them following price down. You don't want that, all right? You need these offers just to dissipate and go away, please, so us bulls can have a bit of fun again. All right, so something to bear in mind. So we've still got good, pretty good aggregated depth of book right here, right now. My only thing is here is, again, like I always say, you need to be a bit of a sniper with your execution in these kind of scenarios in a range, okay? So if you haven't executed there, there's no particular edge right here, right now. What I mean by that is you've got good general depth of book, but there's no immediate bid right on price action right now. Why do I say that? And what we're looking at 1 to 2.5% range, so 1 to 2.5 distance from price. There's no follow through bid right here, right now. And in fact, on perps, they're actually selling into this a little bit. Okay, so yeah, I mean, they had some selling there yesterday, and perps are selling into this a little bit now. Okay, so I believe that'll be Binance, perps, and BitMEX just selling into that a little bit. So what you want to see is basically chop this area up a little bit. Okay, let's get some more demand following price up. If you've got a bit of risk on from this zone, a bit of fresh risk on from this zone, because obviously we negated that kind of 60k zone. And let's see what we get. But yeah, we've got some strong levels above us to conquer, to be honest. So quick overview of the exchange. I'm not going to look at TUSD. Bitfinex, not too much to say really. Bitfinex USDT, they would like a little bit lower. Okay, right here, right now. But that's only one exchange. So anyone wanting that 55k level, it could still be achieved. It would look a little bit shit if we went back down there, to be honest, but yeah, it could be achieved. Coinbase Pro have been selling into this zone a little bit, but again, they're prepared to follow up with a little bit of bid in this 2.5 to 5% range. Gemini are well defending 55k. Kraken, boys and girls, have been bidding this, and this is what you want to see on Binance, really. Okay, so Kraken have bid these lows, but then they're prepared to move price up as well and just follow price up, and that's what you want to see from the other exchanges. Kraken USDT well bid, and then not a lot to show from Qcoin, apart from, again, it's a really nice chart. So Qcoin chart was looking similar to Binance in a respect that the offers were following price down. Okay, so you don't want to see that. Then the offers go, that you find some bid, and then you start to get a bounce. They've had a few offers around here at that 60k mark, and they've just disappeared now. So yeah, if you risk on from here, you just need to watch really and just see what we get in the coming hours. I would say this session, this New York session, could be a little bit telling in price action. What do we get? I'd like to, you know, really hold around this 58 level. We can go and have a look at the OBC actually and see what is below us. Not a lot below us too much, and you're seeing that just in the overlays and the general chart as well, to be honest. I think a lot of people have been filled in this zone, you know, and in a macro kind of way, weekly and daily technical charts as well. I have to say I don't think we're too far off putting in some macro time lows before we get some continuation in the coming weeks or months. I think this is a nice area. If you just pull up a weekly chart, 55k is around your weekly 21 now. Obviously, the longer that goes on, that will be climbing up to meet price as well. And yeah, we're still on trend on higher time frames. Weekly, daily looks good. 4 hour range. Let's go and have a quick look at that, because you all love the 4 hour ranges. I'm sure you all do. Right, let's just zoom in a little bit and have a look at where we are. Okay, so here's our 4 hour range. We were saying at the beginning of the week, this zone would have been nice to get a higher low and then really pop up. But this, if you're going to call this a deviation, we really need to start claiming some levels. Otherwise, if you just pop up, and this sounds really obvious, I'm afraid, but if you just pop up and tap this monthly open again or something, and then we hit some offers in the order flow, which we're going to have to keep an eye on, obviously. Mother's Milk's in. What have you been trading? Mother's Milk. Drop us some altcoins if we need to have a look at them. If we are going to just start hitting some of these levels, the 60k, 60.5 and beyond, and if we just watch the order flow as we move up and hit some offers, then yeah, we're just going to chop some more, probably get some rotations down or something, aren't we? You know, I'm not going to start drawing patterns on here. Could be a bit of a bull flag or something forming, maybe. I don't know. I'm not, you know, but basically we need to start claiming some levels. If you've got risk on from here, which, you know, when we're trending on the higher time frames and, you know, weekly and daily, I'm quite happy to put risk on in these kind of zones, and see what we get. Because trading a range like this, you've just got to do it. You've got to trade the lows, sell the highs, do nothing, diddle in the middle at your POC, or, you know, take a bit of profit at the POC and then just see if you get continuation, hedge your positions at the top and then bid the lows until we've been proven wrong, really. What do I really not want to see is if we kind of, yep, I'm drawing a trend line even though I'm not into them. I guess you could say we've had a good few taps here to call this a bit of a, even, you know, on a 4 hour downtrend. Let's call it what it is. I'm bullish overall in the long term. Obviously, as a lot of us are, but let's call it what it is. We're downtrending on a 4 hour. You know, you're gonna come in. You could extend this level up to 62. That'd be really nice to manage your risk if you were long from down here. But then you really need to keep a sharp eye on the order flow and say to yourself once again, do I need to hedge any positions here or take risk off, you know? Maybe we go for that final sweep of 55 or something like that. So that's our range. That's where we are. Don't think I need to show you the daily and weekly chart, do I? Because all looks pretty good. Mother's Milk is balls deep BTC. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that in the slightest. I thought this was a nice area back here. The last time we hit it, 59.60, we obviously got rewarded. Was shilling that area in the Discord. We got rewarded. Started hitting some perpetual selling up here. Can show you that quickly, actually. Okay, so this was our perpetual selling. So these alerts here I've shared in the Discord, actually. This is these are not as strong as the TRDR BTC diamonds, and your volume profile will look slightly different on this chart, obviously. But given this area here, seeing the amount of perpetual selling at lower highs, you don't want to mess with that. And we're just tickling with a couple more here, you know. So we, you know, it's a bit of concentration time, you know. But yeah, that was our last area of big perpetual selling. Okay, so that's I think I've got in there Binance and BitMEX, but I did say I was going to add another exchange in there, but I can't remember who it was. I have to be honest. But yeah, nice overall depth of book. I'm not going to get too bearish right here, right now, especially after this this little low area here that we got. General funding is pretty chill. We've had a couple of spikes up, but general funding is pretty chill. And general open interest was very, very nuked, as we can see here, and pretty good into those lows. You can see a few, high spikes in the open interest here at these highs that you don't really want. You want the bid depth, the low open interest, cherry on the cake being some negative funding, and away we go. But yeah, generally funding's pretty chill, as we can see here on higher time frames. Yeah, we'll just have to see what we can get. We need a bigger bid, don't we? We need some follow through. That is it, to be honest. So let's just dive back a second. But yeah, in general, let's have a look. Let me go and have a look at the OBC above us. Let me just go to 1 day. There's not a lot to see, and I think I mentioned this the other week actually. When you have these, I can't remember where it was. We'd had a big drop or spike up. And what tends to happen is the order books obviously get flushed a little bit. You'll see that in the Liquidity King chart. The order books get flushed a little bit. So you don't get anything really, really strong above or below. It's like everyone's been just spat out the market, and you have to re-auction these areas and build up some bid or ask again. But that's where we are now. Let me just go back to that dual tab, see what everyone else is doing. Set that. Let me just go back here. Oh, not loading. Let me just refresh this quickly. That's better. Yeah, so we can see slight top levels above on Bitcoin. We're just kind of tickling these highs here. I think this was just around the 7:45 last night. So J-Pow time. Just when J-Pow was speaking last night, we hit some volatility. Always a good one for market makers, just to wrestle a few people out the market and fill a few more bids or a few more offers if they need to. But yeah, let's see what we get. I want to see bid follow up this price here, and then we might look good to conquer a few levels. If we don't, yeah, we'll see. What else do I need to look at? Volume. Okay, so first thing when I woke up this morning around here, volume was looking quite good for a kick up, as funding's coming down, and funding actually flirting with going negative right here, right now. So that's good. Volume coming up, but you want to see some continuation of this really with open interest. If I just go to a 1 hour basis, yeah, so it could still come up a lot more, as we can see here. Still a lot of work to do. Spot, no real edge there, but you want to see, yeah, funding coming down. Okay, so we want to see open interest, new contracts opening really, spot market bidding this up, and that's going to look better on a 1 hour kind of time frame as well. One thing to note is liquidity on perpetuals has ramped up a little bit. Okay, so there's a lot of contracts in the order books vying for a bit of a position here. Spot market looks pretty chill. And on a 4 hour basis, it's nice to see that the open interest got nuked. Okay, so if you're just simply looking at a high time frame 4 hour and trying to get long, always nice just to wait for that little nuke. Interesting to see that liquidations were as much as this kind of area here. Mind you, that does look a little bit more violent, doesn't it? But just shows that sometimes you can read this. Everyone's been liquidated on these dips here. Okay, so who's left in the market? Maybe we don't need to liquidate that many more people. Is it easy to now float price up a little bit? We'll have to keep an eye on that. Okay, so what's going on? Quick look at Bitcoin right here, right now. Anyone following up on bid? No, perhaps are still doing a little bit of selling, but they have got this dynamic bid coming up. But as I say, just keep an eye on things. Don't get you can see them just doing a little bit of selling here. Don't get too FOMO-y around here with any sort of position, I would say. Shorts or longs, you've got bid below, only 2.5 to 5% away, but you've got nothing immediate. Okay, so I think this is one of those scenarios where if you just give this US session a couple of hours, and then we'll see what we can get. Right, anything else I've missed before we can jump into a few altcoins and the like? I think I stopped looking at BitMEX over a year ago. Yeah, do you know what? Did we mention this last time? I might even take them off my perps alert, to be honest, and I might add someone else in. Might even add like yeah, might add one of the Q coins actually or something like that. We'll see, But yeah, a little bit of selling from Binance. Binance is always the better one to watch. And if you're just unfamiliar, we don't get all the depth of book from Bybit. They cheeky fuckers don't share it. Right, what we're trading, WIF and TIA. Yeah, WIF looked great yesterday. I thought one of the lads in the socials as well. WIF was really good, and we've said on WIF before that just watch these top levels on WIF. But yeah, hit some really big bid there. What did perps look like? Yep, so pretty obvious, but around the time when Bitcoin was trying to put in a bottom, altcoins like this are just going to do rocket kind of ship stuff, aren't they? How much did it move then? That's massive, isn't it? 18%. Wow, yeah. So just a little bit of supply above, but I've said this before on WIF. I would not be, if you're trading derivatives on WIF, I would not be in the mood to short it, even though you guys might be playing this both ways, but I would rather risk off, go for a long. TIA's had a very nice chart as well, hasn't it? I believe. Yeah, look at that. This is exactly what you want to see, to be honest. Yeah, you see this. I don't think, yeah, it's quite spiky, isn't it? I bet these wicks here are a good few percent, so you know, probably just spot or very low leverage, obviously. But the TIA chart's very nice. You see the offers disappear. So this is exactly what you want to see, yeah? So it's coming down, it's filling all the bid. Again, it sounds obvious, but it's probably putting its lows similar time to what Bitcoin is. Didn't quite get down to these order blocks here and fill these entities, although the wicks were obviously trying. What did perps market look like at that time? No edge on perps really, was there? USDC, okay, what did the Bitcoin chart look like? Yeah, no edge. So it's basically the spot chart on TIA is very nice. And this is exactly what you want to see. I don't know what this entity was playing at here, thinking he was getting an offer right there, and he's certainly not come back unless he's split his orders here. But this is really what you want to see. Orders chasing up price. You know, this entity didn't get filled. Is it the same entity going, oh shit, I've missed out, I need to chase green candles now? So they're probably trying to get a fill down here. Yeah, nice. What's the 4 hour look like? 4 hours, very nice as well, isn't it? On TIA. Let's have a look at volume. Is there any edge on volume? No particular edge on volume. I guess you could say perpetuals, but there wasn't any edge in the order books really, was there? Yeah, I mean, it just looks nice. I mean, open interest has been nuked on this asset, and funding looks very negative, and I don't know if that's across all exchanges, but it wouldn't surprise me if it is. 4 hour on TIA. Yeah, I mean, it's had a massive pullback, hasn't it? Actually, it's been down for a while. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Probably say similar time to some of the others. But yeah. Yep. Very easy chart to play, to be honest. If you're long in those lows, with the bid. Yeah. Nice longs from those lows. Didn't quite come down and fill most of this wick space, did it? But let's see if it can get a pop now. That'd be really nice. Nice easy levels, and I think if you scan some alts, I think it's not going to be really easy, but quite a lot of alts look like this now. Where they've just had these kind of drastic, prolonged pullbacks. They've come really now down in some demand and some fat order blocks, so it's very easy to put some risk on now and just look for a crack of these trend lines. Really, I would say. That is one of the easiest ways to play it. Let me just go back to there, see where that's coming in. Yeah, that's not bad. Gala and IMX. I love the Gala chart on daily time frame. Mentioned to the guys a few times. I'm not sure. It's a gaming asset, isn't it? Yeah, pulling back a little bit. Perps. Yeah, so it's had some spot bid. Some entities down here at 3.6 level wanted to fill. They haven't quite got it. I won't go over it again because we've gone over it before, but the daily chart on Gala is very, very, very nice. So if they've still got a good team behind them, building some stuff, then yeah, it could be very good. IMX, no major edge there for, I wouldn't have, maybe you guys do. Yeah, I mean, the open interest got nuked down here, no major edge there. But again, yeah, double bottoms there, double bottom. And again, it's going to be very, very, very easy to play these alts now. My only concern for some of them is a lot of people will be expecting straight rocket ships back up. And I know some of the, you know, maybe stuff like Sol and some of the Sol coins might do that. But do some of these assets, you know, you could almost draw your trend line again, couldn't you? You know, I'm just going to draw this roughly, but you're almost doing that sort of stuff again and thinking to yourself, you know, I'd be thinking, great. This is IMX, by the way. Oh, great, yeah. You know, we just need to break this trend line and go. But if we are going to enter a boring summer, which I'm not sure one way or the other, and I actually don't give a shit, we can trade it either way, are you just going to form a range here on assets like this? Are you just going to have some of this all summer and then go? I would just be aware of that. That's all I would say. And especially on some of these assets that are boring, as in, and are not, you know, not the new race car assets of the world. What am I talking about? One of the most boring assets out there, Cardano, you know. Really, really good move up. Obviously, it's come down, and again, doing the similar thing, trending down. Look, I mean, most of these alts look miles worse than Bitcoin, which is kind of obvious, I think, isn't it? But, you know, Bitcoin's kind of won it this year, really. But, you know, especially on some of these boring assets, are they just going to, you know, range all summer before they put in another move? Whereas other stuff might perform a little bit better, I do believe. Obviously, one that I always like is Soy Lana. Really testing this lower trend line now, almost like a little bit of a deviation out. This is, if you're unfamiliar with this is a Alt Diamond Pro for Sol. So the green overlay is basically an overlay at the top, and it just tells us to keep an eye on the chart during bid or ask. I think I had it on before, and then I took it off. You can see we got some down here, and then we hit some tops up here as well, obviously. But nice to see it coming at those lows. Again, I'm not going to dwell on Soy Lana too much, but yeah, want it to get some trend and go. Basically, that's what I'm seeing. And you can just see how much a better chart Sol is than most other stuff when you zoom out. Really, really nice chart, okay? Keep an eye on that one. I think it had some spot bid at those lows as well. Let's have a look. Yeah, spot bid came in at the lows here. It just deviated a little bit lower, grabbed all that liquidity, which some of these coins need to do, you know. Some of these larger assets just need to really, really stretch their legs and grab as much liquidity as they can before they get a move up. So don't ever be surprised if you do see them really, really filling out these demand areas. And it's the same on the offer side. I mean, when Sol was really, really trending up, you'll see it was hitting massive supply. If I can show it, you know, supply all the way up, but it's just smashing it. You know, it's a trending asset. It's just really, really stretching that area out, filling all its offers before it finally does kind of roll over. No follow through bid, and then it finally rolls over. So yeah, just watch for that, especially when you see these top levels. Okay, just watch for that liquidity grab and then go. And again, sounds obvious, but it's generally at a time when Bitcoin or the bigger assets are putting in their their bottoms as well. Yeah, so did we look at the order books on Charles's coin? Are you still a project, Charles? Is anything going on? Yeah, I mean, I think I tweeted this yesterday. Right from the beginning of the week, mentioned, I think I tweeted it out, go and fact check me if you want. Right at the beginning of the week, I said, basically, I don't think Bitcoin's finished with its lows. Obviously, we never know quite where it's going. But the only thing we're seeing was, and I think DOT was actually a perfect example, and I've not looked at it since the beginning of the week. DOT had some really big order blocks lower down on spot. And I saw that, and I think AVAX was one as well. And when you're seeing that, so you're right up here, and then you kind of like, you're floating down. And I'd have to put my top levels on 25%, actually. I don't know why they've changed. Let me just tag that to 25. As you're coming down, you kind of see these order blocks just waiting lower, waiting to get filled. And it was like that on an absolute shed load of assets. As I was looking at the market Monday, Tuesday, I was like, right, okay, we're coming down here. Bitcoin's coming down as well. Bitcoin's at a 60k level. AVAX, DOT, ADA, all the rest, right? They're coming down. But, you know, you've got to then look at these bigger order blocks here and say to yourself, right, where is price and where does it need to go to fill these orders? And where are these orders? And if you're unfamiliar with the ratios, if you just take the price action here and measure down, you're 5% away, okay? What happens? Price eventually comes down and starts filling those orders. So what you're looking at here is, even if you don't look at this price action chart and you just eyeball the ratios here at this time when price was coming down, what you'll see is these ratios here will start filling up in preparation, you know, and that's how it should be. Price is coming down, started to auction lower, so people are getting ready a little bit lower with these resting limit orders, yeah? So then look for the biggest order blocks and position yourself accordingly, all right? But yeah, beginning of the week was just seeing a lot more order blocks a lot lower down, and I believe a lot of those have actually filled out now, to be honest, and you can just see the, you know, whoever this entity was, whether they didn't get filled or not, or if, you know, they've just had to add some more orders up here, and that's what you'll see, to be honest. Right, Storgy. Not looked at Storgy in a while, to be honest. We'll go check Bitcoin again in a second. Yeah, Bitcoin's probably just chopping about a little bit here. I can not even look at it, to be honest. Storge moving up, holding well. Might take a look at the higher time frame on this. Storge is well bid, so spot market's bidding Storge, and BTC Storge is really well bid as well. Now, absolute shit show, excuse my language, of a chart, but it's well bid. So Storge is looking good. So what's that like on a 4 hour? Let's go and have a look. Yeah, so Storge is actually, although that's frightening to look at because it's had this monster move up, come down, almost form this fat range here. It's then come and really wicked these lows. Is it finished? Has it really come and filled some of this wick space out? Could be the case. Could be the case. Let me just have a quick check at where, because it's been here for a while. This is a 4 hour chart. So you're certainly in the lows here for Storge. Let's have a look at that. Right, so there's, yeah, so you've certainly come down. Yeah, it looks nice. I mean, it's got a lot of work to do. So Storge is just coming back up into its range lows now. So it's auctioned the range lows, and you've seen the bid. Okay. So as soon as it enters this area, look for bid. Don't just think, I'm going to long it. Let's just do a little classic TA as well. Yeah, it's a bit of a dubious fib pull. But yeah, 382, it's just conquered its off 0.5, coming back up. And then if you are trading Storge, you need to basically come back up, don't you? You need to come into this range, attack the range, probably, you know, attack the POC there, right where your golden fibber is. And yeah, you're probably then going to, I don't know, let me just, I don't know, stuff like this. I don't know, I'd be kind of almost eyeballing the classic altcoin inverse head and shoulders or something like that. But yeah, again, it depends. Do we get that prolonged range and boring summer? We'll have to see, won't we? See if these walls on BTC Coin M hold. Let me have a look. I do have to say, I don't actually, rightly or wrongly. Yeah, I like storage though. So basically, it's just coming back up now. It's hitting its value area low, which is this white line here at 511. We'll call it 511. And you've got no real supply here. So it just needs to do the classic resistance, support flip, and then continue. And if you wanted to market, you've got a POC at 5.4. So just shy of around 5.5 number. So 5.4 is your POC. Value area high, 5.6. Don't know if it'll get there in one clip, but you never know. Some of these lower liquidity assets are pretty good at doing that, aren't they? They'll just rip your face off and not give you chance of coming back into the market. What's Bitcoin doing then? I think it's holding well here, to be honest. You know, apart from Binance Perps, these guys obviously coming out of position a little bit. I'm not in the mood to short this. I think that would have been a nice day trade yesterday. A couple of guys in the socials got that. That was a nice, you know, scalpy day trade if you were sniping this for a little bit of a hedge position. Coin M, do I need to look at? Okay, let's have a look. Coin M what? Are they offers above? I might need to reduce. Are they offers above? I might need to just tweak my settings if they are. I kind of tend to have oh, I'll tell you what. Why is that? Because let's have a look. I need to tweak some settings here, don't I? Right, you've probably got a better chart than me. I need to tweak some settings if I want. And rightly or wrongly, I don't often look at Coin M. There we go. Okay, I'll just turn everything off. Yeah, okay, so Coin M are chasing this up a little bit, aren't they? So 57.8. 57.8 is your level where the Coin M boys and girls want to get a little bit of continuation. So yeah, cheers, Mother's Milk. Nice one to watch that. But my OCD is calling me to turn this back. Just a minute. Let me just turn this back. That's better. What about Coinbase? If not mistaken, the Coinbase BTC Diamond fired quite a bit. Yeah, it did. Let's have a look what Coinbase are doing right now. I've had no Coinbase selling. As in, sorry, they are selling here. Coinbase have done some selling, but bigger bands are in control. So you've got what you would almost call this is local selling, all right, from a couple of exchanges, but the bigger bands are in control and wanting to push up a little bit. That's all I would say. Yeah, I do. I mean, I'll look at Coin M now and again. I'm just not sure, and correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, I'm not sure they do the volume to push the market one way or another, the way that Binance Spot and Binance USDT perps will, you know. So I do like looking at Coin M, and Mother's Milk's quite right, and actually, more often than not, they will be on the right side of the market, you know. It's like we like looking at Qcoin Spot. More often than not, Qcoin Spot, for some reason, obviously good traders in there, you know, they're often on the right side of the market. But do Qcoin Spot do the kind of volume that can push the market? Probably not, you know. Yeah, Coin M. Yeah, I bet it is actually. Yeah, I bet it is. Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so you're dead right. Coin M is good for trend. Yeah, it is. If you're generally looking at this sort of thing on a 1 hour, this is what I'll say. So sorry if I'm repeating a little bit. And it's the same with USDT as well, basically. You see when you get these fades in, this is not trade entry stuff, you know, but when you get faded bands on perpetual, so I'm on a 1 hour chart, so not trade entry stuff in the slightest, but when you get faded bands down here where no, and you can see here my aggregation is obviously just the white is supply zone here, okay, so supply zone, demand zone. When you get these faded bands, it really is time to you know, if you're inclined to hedge your position and put a bit of short on, even if it's a 1x weekend short or something, maybe collecting funding or whatever, or to risk off, I would certainly say you need to risk off. And yeah, you're dead right. When these bands really start to kick back in with these demand zones, yeah, good for trend and trend continuation, I would say. It is a good point. All right, what's going on then? Are we pushing up? It's not really pushing up, is it? Just chopping this area a little bit. Look at volume badging. Yeah. Right, I just want to quickly check, because I've not checked it today. And ETH is doing nothing, but I just want to check the ETH BTC while you guys are on. Yeah, nothing. Absolutely shocking, isn't it? Unfortunately for the ETH enjoyers, absolutely shocking. Right, droppers any more alts we need to look at, as in, do we need to look at any right now? Droppers, any console questions that you may have, you know, alerts, whatever. What have I just had? Let's have a look. Yeah, so we've got a bit of perps BTC selling here. I'm just gonna have a quick look at ARB, see what ARB is doing. A couple of alerts on ARB. Ooh, a bit of a messy chart, that one, isn't it? Yeah, no edge there really. Supply zone above, capping that price at the $1 mark. Okay, what other alerts have we had? Yeah, droppers, anything else? RNDR. Okay, that's not moved for a bit. Wow, okay. This is an interesting one. Right, so before I flick to it, this is a perps chart. I'm just interested, muddling my words, to see if Spot filled this zone. I've not looked at it in a while, but I'm thinking Spot filled that zone, which they did, yeah. Right, I want to go and have a look at this chart with you guys, RNDR. Spot have filled this zone. What I do like to see, especially on altcoins, you see this little USDT level moving up now. So I could certainly get a little bit of percentage volatility coming down into that 7.5 zone, okay? What I do like to see, when Spot are filled, I do like to see perps chasing and moving up, okay? Like this. What level are we at there? 7.52. As we go down, there you go, 120k there, 7.52. If you were inclined to have a little bit of a RNDR trade, sir, this would be the one. And you want this guy to either fill or hold this position, okay, and go back up. Let me show you quickly. Okay, I'd be looking to execute as close as you can near to these top levels. Okay, whatever's going on in the market, these are your order blocks to have a look at. Look for your biggest entities in the market and execute with them. Invalidation below. Okay, so yeah, that's quite nice to see. If that entity holds, that could be a nice day trade back up. Especially if the market's gonna chop this zone up. Okay, for anyone that did miss the long exposure from the lows yesterday, if anyone's looking to get long now, they might get chopped up a little bit in the next couple of hours before we get any further rotation. So certainly a nice one there on RNDR. So while I'm on here, I'm just interested to see. Yeah, I see. This is actually nice here. So what some would say is I'm on a 4 hour really here, okay, and I do have a slower look back on this volume chart, as some of you will know. But this is look, I do like this because a couple of reasons. Volume is not quite one, but as you can see here, so nice volume bull divs, okay, into the lows. All right, so into the lows, nice volume bull divs. I don't pay too much attention to the red line, which is 10k and under order sizes on alts too much, but nice bull divs into the lows, and on higher time frames as well, your open interest is absolutely nuked on RNDR. So that could be a nice trade, to be honest. Okay, let's have a look at liquidity. Yeah, okay, so spot liquidity is low, open interest low, perps liquidity very, very low. Really neutralized chart, okay? And then when we just drop to a 4 hour, although it looks scary because it's really high, it's a trending asset. It's had some very nasty wicks. And what is it doing? It's basically coming back. So yeah, I'm not surprised to see people bidding at this zone and then trying to defend price and chase it up a little bit, okay? Let's just do the old classic tier. Not particularly into fibs, but I do look at them. Yeah, so you're just hitting that 0.5 resistance. Yes, I'm going to pull my old fixed range friend again. I know you all absolutely love it. It's probably not relevant from back there, but I'm going to pull it from there anyway. Range lows right back there. So it's wicked to the range lows, yeah, okay. And your highs are up here. It's probably not going to do that in one clip. It's quite an extension, that, isn't it? Yeah, 39%. I tell you what, you never know. When it's trending, it's absolutely brilliant. When RNDR is trending, oh god. Before Christmas, when it was moving really well, it was pulling like 15-20% in one day. Really good to add on to your derivatives trade if you just want a little bit of exposure for a few percent. But yeah, really nice this. I actually like this chart, to be honest. Yeah, I'm going to trend line that again. Sorry if anyone doesn't like trend lines. The TRDR OGs will just be shouting at me now, drawing trend lines and all this shizzle. Just thinking, just look at the price action, that's all you need. And I do agree, to be honest, but I do like a little bit of classic tier. It's where we all began, wasn't it? It's where we all began, and we all learn a bit, don't we? Before we find that, before we find out that the only thing that really matters is bid and ask, because that's the only thing that moves price. But yeah, keep an eye on this one, because I do like this chart. Wonder if Nvidia have still got them dirty hands all over it. You know, could be really nice, that one. Even for a little bit of spot exposure for the coming months or whatever. Really nice chart, that. Really nice chart. You went to the elite first, didn't you? Yeah, I wish I'd started with TRDR. Start with trend lines and horizontals and stuff, trading the freaking euro indexes back in 2016 or whatever it was, I can't even remember, and then trading spot crypto and triangle breakouts and all this shit back in the day, which actually I have to say, we used to work really good. Bitcoin used to form a triangle and then just create these breakouts without it. You know what? And it didn't even fake out that much, to be honest, at all. But then, yeah, entering into, you know, God, you soon find out, well, why is price moving? Why does price form a triangle? Why does price form a wave pattern? Why does it range, you know, and a bull flag? Well, it's all bid and ask, isn't it? You know, it's all bid and ask. It's funny, actually. I was thinking of making a video on it. Why does price move? Because I do love all classic tier. I would never say anything bad against any classic tier or anyone that trades waves or, you know, any kind of patterns or anything, because, you know, you need to find your niche and what you are good at, and if you can make money with it, you need to do it. You know. But I just hope that some newer people entering the space, you know, when they jump on some of these classic tier sites, or, you know, read a classic tier pattern or whatever, I hope they just appreciate why is it that it's making that. you know, what is it that's forming that? And it, you know, it's bid and ask, it's price volume primarily, isn't it? Right, what? Fucking hellfire! I do rabbit on a bit, you know. It's a good job the other lads from TRDR are out on this stream actually, because we'd be here for 3 hours talking shit and boring everyone to death. So I try and keep these streams to an hour, so that I can just hammer out a little bit of data, help people along a little bit, and we all move on and have a great day. What else do I need to look at? What coins are dead? Have you had any great trades this week? I thought Doge was looking good again at these lows. Being greedy, would have liked it a little bit lower at this 114 level. But again, I just think, you know, a lot of these meme coins, they've got great charts, you know. I do have to say. Let me just have a look at Doge, see where it is on a 4 hour. Yeah, it got hammered a lot like the rest, didn't it? So it's not exactly a brilliant chart. It did get hammered, really hammered. What can it do? What can it do from here? It can range, so unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know what it's gonna do. I'm pulling these ranges, but I don't know how relevant they are from back here, because this was a trend. It's really broken its trend, and it's starting. It almost needs to re-auction this zone here. But that's interesting. If anyone wants to mark that up, you're 0.15. Talking USDT here. Obviously, I'm not looking at BTC Doge or anything, or BTC alts at the minute, although I do. That's going to be a tough level. So your lows of this entire range coming in at 145, and then your POC 151, we'll call it. That's going to be a tough area for Doge, I would say. But if it can reclaim that, again, classic resistance to support flip. Watch your order flow at those levels. I wouldn't say you need to get extremely risk on right now, unless you know, like we always say, execution is key at these levels. So if you're not risk on from the lows that we get every time we you know, we post them in the socials and try and keep everyone up to date, you know, just chill out a little bit, I would say. Right, anything else we need to look at? I'm going to keep those levels on Doge because I do like them actually. Let's go here. Yeah, I could see Doge chopping about a little bit. I'm just going to have a look at Link Marines. Came from good bid, but like I mentioned the other week, if anyone's into Link for whatever reason, I'm sure it's a good project still, and it's going to do well in the future. But the order books have really lost it their edge a little bit at the minute. The order books, you see, this is just a real mess, to be honest. The order books got absolutely hammered, so it's lost its edge. But yeah, it got spot bid at this $12 level. I think we mentioned that on the last live as well. Level to watch, $12 level. Spot bid there, and then just looks to be reclaiming its value area low. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, you can see it's a bit messy, isn't it? Oh, it's actually reclaiming a bit of a dubious trend as well, isn't it? Link Marines will love that. I'm not going to adjust that. I'm going to leave it because it looks similar to Sol. Wick through, claim, fake out, back in. I'm going to leave that on actually. Yeah, if Link can start trending again, that's going to look good. Like we mentioned the other week as well, Link could be, although it's a boring asset, it is, isn't it? It could be a little bit of a leader again. Dare I say it? Like Rune was. Talking of Rune, let's go and have a look at Rune. Yeah, if you're new to this console, drop us any questions. If you have them, console related or not, look at that on Rune. If you haven't got Rune and AVAX as well, you'll have heard me mention AVAX before. If you haven't got Rune and AVAX in your Alt Diamond Pro, link for these is in the socials, or I can share it with you if not. Get it in. You'll find, did you see when I just went to Link and we looked at that chart and there was those little green and red dots all over? Really messy kind of order flow. You sometimes get that on some alts, so pick and choose them. Rune has nice order flow, okay? So look at that, right at the wick lows. Really nice on Rune. Even if you're not a fan of the project, although I know a lot of people are, You know, you had, again, you generally get a little bit of time to execute in here. You know, you had half an hour to execute on that trade there. Let's go to a 5 minute. Yeah, maybe longer, half an hour or so to execute on that. You know, even for a day trade, 9% on your derivatives account, and it's still pushing. Really, really nice. And actually, yeah, I mean, I don't know why I've got that. That's obviously from its previous range. This was its. That's from when we traded the Head and Shoulders right back there. Inverse Head and Shoulders right back here. That's in the Discord. If you've missed it, go and search that out. Yeah, it was obviously ranging here. Really wicked the range lows and went again, and then it's just fallen back to its range lows. So you really kind of want room to hold this level. So you see here, I'm not going to start boring you and pulling this fixed range right out again. But Rune likes this 4.5 to 4.6 level. It'd be nice if it can hold these as its range lows, and then move on from there. Okay, so yeah, you do get some really nice order flow on Rune. When it's moving down like this, just obviously appreciate what the wider market is doing. When it's moving down like this and it's getting bid, just appreciate if Bitcoin's moving down as well, then your altcoins are going to drop, okay? But yeah, that is nice from Rune. I do like that. Thank you very much. Right, what you guys saying then? I have quite some tier trader on my belt, and it does, but mine is always want to know what is under the hood. I wanted something aggregated. I do use the DOM and XR quite a bit. Yeah, I used to use XR quite a lot as well. I still think XR is brilliant, to be honest. Yeah, it's good platform. Yeah, alts. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, alts are difficult. You need the order flow really for alts. You know, and some of them will move on their own merit. Some of them won't. You get rotations where some alts will move. Let me just sort this chart. You get the, you know, you get the kind of rotations where alts will move off their own merit, won't they? You know, Rune Link, a couple of the others. Do you remember TRB? And there was something else, wasn't there, that started absolutely being rocket ships last year. Towards summer and summer end last year. While Bitcoin was kind of still trying to stretch its legs. TDR is a godsend, yeah, and it does give me a deeper understanding of momentum. The way I see it, momentum is the true leading indicator. Yeah, I kind of, I don't know. I think one thing to say is the only thing that moves price is market bid, market ask. That is it. End of. Nothing. These resting limit orders don't move price, and these bands are obviously showing our orders as well. Don't move price until we hit them and fill them. The only thing that moves price is market order, buys and sells. Okay, and then that moves price towards our resting limit bids and offers. You know, I would then say it's nice to look at volume, obviously, because if you've got lagging sell volume, obviously volume bull divs, so you're coming into bid. If you then can appreciate if you're getting lacking sell volume down here, that's good to see. So I guess you could say that's lack of momentum in volume. I do have to say I struggle with classic momentum indicators. I can't really use them, to be honest, knowing that they lag bid ask and volume. You know, there are some really good ones out there, and they will certainly get you in the market in good time, and you're gonna catch a lot of meat on the bone from the overall move. But if you're just looking at a chart like this, you know, you really want to be in executing at the lows, don't you, with the bid and ask. Michael Saylord, yeah, he just buys. Do you remember when he was on Up Only with Kirby there, and Kirby said to him, "Do you just buy whatever the price?" And he laughed at himself and he just said, "Yeah." So like, I don't know if anyone's got that chart, obviously, of his buys and he's well, I don't know if we've got a chart of his sells. As he's probably never sold, has he? But there's a chart somewhere, and he's just bought up and down all over. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, exactly, Ali. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we love the volume. This is obviously just the Volume King template, and we love the volume to see who's doing what on top of the bid ask. For me personally, the bid ask is priority. I like to see where the biggest order blocks are. More often than not, what you'll see is from stuff like some of the other platforms, not naming any names, that only show. I think some of the other platforms have got those limit orders and stuff, haven't they now? But if you'll see some of the other platforms that have just got market orders or whatever. So it's nice to see. Great, where's the bid coming in? Is there any sell volume into those lows? No. Okay, so bid's coming in. Have we actually got any bull divs? Great. Is the open interest new, making it easier to float price up? Great. And then you have stuff like, cherry on the cake for this sort of stuff is then seeing retail traders trying to short the lows, bringing the funding profile down, stuff like that, isn't it? But it's all good. It's all confluence, building that picture, isn't it? We've just got to build that picture. Like right now, couple of sells obviously into this little price action area. Do I fancy closing longs from this zone? No, not particularly, because the bigger bands are in control. I just, I wanna see this follow up. We can see here, it's still 2.5 and 10%, this whole band here. So price action's still a little bit of a distance, but are these people going to get a little bit impatient and start chasing up? That's kind of what I want to see now, Yeah, understanding the context of the price action, exactly that. Yeah, I agree. I do. There's some great platforms out there. And I would never come on here, and obviously, we're all on here looking at TRDR obviously and stuff, and I would never slag off, so to speak. That's what we say over here. I would never say another platform is shit, because they've all got their edge. They've all got their edge. But for me personally, after using this for quite a long number of years now, I wasn't quite in at the very beginning when the guys launched this, but it wasn't soon after that I got involved. I can't remember exactly when it was. And as soon as I got into this, I spent about a week, and this is kind of what I always say to people. It's a funny one now, because, we all have these templates set up that we share, and, we've got this nice alert system. We didn't have this back then, so this is very nice. Again, repeat, don't be an alert trader. All these alerts just tell you to have a look at your charts and then decide, do I need to take action? Okay, an alert's going off, it's telling me something, like ARB, okay, do I need to take action? Right, perps are selling here. Do I need to take any action? I'll wait a bit, thank you very much. And price is already floating back up. But what I always say to people, it's what I did originally, if anyone's new and listening to this, is go on the TRDR Academy. First thing I did, because I think I copied one of the OG's templates straight away, and I thought, this is brilliant, I can see what's happening, but straight away I came here. I did the risk reward, but not straight away, I have to say, because I'm a little bit OCD, so I came straight in here and I was like, how the hell is this overlay working? Because I'd seen other platforms that were showing depth of bid, obviously order book, depth on a general chart like you see on most exchanges. But I came in here and I was like, right, I need to know this is working. Primarily, I need to know this is working. And two, I want to set my charts up so that I understand them and they're set up in the way that, and that's a good learning thing to go through as well. Is you can copy my templates, you can copy anybody else's templates, but come in here, read it, understand it, and you will be much, much more comfortable on a day-to-day basis, then jumping in your console, obviously, you know, and you'd be miles more comfortable, daily basis, 5-minute look at this, right, what's going on, you know. Sometimes I don't even look at the main chart, I just look at this widget here all day long. My eyes are on this. You know, get happy with the chart, get familiar with the chart, get comfortable with it, and you'll be better rewarded, I would say. In one of your videos, price is making equal lows, but volume is making higher lows. But can't you also say that price is making new lows with? Yeah, I use the volume pretty standard, to be honest. It's a little bit different to less volume needed. Is that bearish? The volume, my volume template, I look at in a pretty standard way. This low here is not the best. We kind of negated the bullish divergences I was looking at yesterday as we got this deviation. Am I on Bitcoin here? Yeah, I'm on Bitcoin. If we just go and look at, I think it was the 61 was very good. We just got smashed down here, to be honest. We were starting to build some bull divs. It's this sort of thing I look at. Standard, let me go back to that. Standard divergences, really. Lack of selling after the bid, players are coming in, this sort of thing. Yeah, so this is, you could say this is a fairly equal low, isn't it? But even if you get a low, I quite like, even if you get a lower low on price action, so maybe kind of like a 3 drive down in price action sort of thing. And I like to see bullish divergences like this. New lows in price, less volume needed to make the new low. This new lows in price and less volume needed to make a new low. Thus bearish. Yeah, I mean it could be. In that case, I would almost be. It's like the recent one. It's like this one. You've got no. You didn't have a lot of selling volume here. Open interest was quite high, so a lot of people were vying for a contract. You didn't have a lot of selling volume, but most of the bid while we were here was a little bit lower. That's all I would say. Let me go and just check the bid. And then as we go and check the bid, so we filled this area, but then you had these orders down here to go and fill. So for my volume on the Volume King template, I look for pretty standard divergences, if I've kind of made that clear. It's a bit different to XO, because what XO will do is look for XO will look for the way I used to read XO was it would look for a standard, say, higher low in price action, but then it would look for a lower low in its CVD, which indicates strong market selling into those lows, getting absorbed by stronger resting limit bid. Okay, if I've made that clear. So XO and certain CVDs will look at it a little bit different. I'm looking at it in a pretty standard way here. Have you used the open interest alerts recently? They seem to have stopped firing as frequently recently. Is that the liquidity alert? I've got the liquidity alert, which is this one here. Have I got an open interest alert? I don't think I've got one. My liquidity alert is basically telling me when the order books get absolutely wiped out. I don't think I've got an open interest alert. I could probably do with setting one. And you know what? I think I set one up for someone the other day. I've got an LS ratio. I don't really use that, to be honest, because it's nice to look at, but there's no real edge. There's no real edge on that. Liquidity, let me have a look when it last fired. We've been wiping out the order books here, and then you can see we bounced. We wiped the order books there, and then you can see we bounced. I don't know why the overlay is placed there. Let me just go and check what the overlay is doing. It should be at the lows. Long overlay. is at the lows. It's just because it's really wicky. Yeah, and it's rare that you see one at the top. I've not seen one at the top for a long while, meaning the order books are very, very full. Have you got? Yeah, I can set one up. The only other one I think I set one for someone the other day, was the open interest here is obviously an RSI metric. If you're unfamiliar with this, you can, let me just go to that quickly. Add metric. Okay, so you can add metrics here. So what you're basically doing is adding, like you could use it on open interest, volume, anything. You add like a standard RSI or MACD or anything you're into, and we found it's quite nice. I quite like just a standard RSI. I think I stole this idea of someone else actually in the socials. It probably was Eddie, if anyone's familiar with Eddie's work. But this is quite nice, and I don't know if I set an alert for this, so you could probably set an alert. I'll have to go and find it. When the open interest RSI hits below a certain level, so you could say it's crossing 25, and then you could say the open interest RSI is hitting 70. I've got it at 70 there, and obviously we can see that's quite nice. That's quite nice actually, because so you're seeing at the top of this zone here, price action right at the top of that previous month POC, and your RSI open interest metrics right up there, tickling 71. And then even if you were day trading actually, because it's nice to see it gets a flush there, at those lows you get a bounce, risk off a little bit, comes down to these lows, you get a bounce, and then obviously we've got our previous one right there. Open interest, yeah, I can set that up, certainly. I can certainly set it back up and drop it in the socials again. I've just not got it saved there, have I? I can do a test one here. In fact, I think this could be it. BTC, yeah, this is it. This is it. I'll close off the stream and I'll follow this. But this is basically it. So this is an alert based on open interest RSI metric. So it's very easy to make. Open interest aggregated perpetuals, RSI is your metric, close 16, standard RSI stuff. But then what I'm saying to it is crossing value 20. And what I said to the guy at the time when I was making this is that might need tweaking. I don't know if it needs to be crossing up or down maybe. Or you could do percentage moving up or down. I've not back tested this or anything. But yeah, I've just got it crossing 20, okay, for the long, and then for the short, crossing value 80. I might need to change that actually. I'll call it 70 for caution. Because stuff like this, it's not trade entry stuff like your price action and order flow from your OBD. But yeah, I'll save that. And I'll drop it in the socials, unless anyone can open it from that. There you go. Right, let's have a look at what Bitcoin is doing. Pushing up a little bit. Yeah, nice to see that. Okay, let's go. Let's go, Bitcoin. He's got a bit of work to do. He has got a bit of work to do. It's pretty obvious here. Monthly open is right there at 60.6. I don't think there's major offers above us just yet. Coinbase have obviously been doing some selling. That's dissipated now. But there's no major offers waiting above us right now. I think it was Qcoin had some, but theirs have gone slightly now. Okay, so no major offers, but a lot of work to do, haven't we? Let's just quickly go back to that 4-hour range. Drop any further questions if you've got them, guys, and then we'll call it a day. I will be around in the socials if you need anything. But there you go. We've got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. You can just see that monthly open there. Trend line, if anybody's into those, you've got to break that. That trend line's just coming in at the value area low as well. So let's play it level by level. Let's watch the order flow as we go. All right, and let's see if we can get a bigger push. I'm hoping we don't get a boring summer. I'm hoping it's not a selling May walk away. I think Bitcoin's pretty low, what could be its macro lows, even if it wants to deviate down and tackle 55 again at some point. I think it's probably pretty near some of its lows, all right? But does that mean we get a really, really boring summer? I hope not, for everyone's sake, but just be prepared if we are going to for a little bit of a ranging and choppy market. All right, guys, so we'll call it a day. I'll be around in the socials. If you're new and you need a link to the console, grab a link from below. Grab yourself a free trial, get in the socials, get yourself familiar with the console. You won't regret it. All right, guys. So yeah, new video coming out soon. We'll probably do another live in the Discord yesterday because I'm quite enjoying those on a Friday just to catch up with everyone so that everyone can voice a few more opinions. And what you can do in the Discord as well is just obviously share. Yeah, BTC Peps has lightened up a bit. Yeah, push it on for me. Thank you, Ali. Give it a little push for us, sir. Don't chase green candles, though. But yeah, join us in the Discord tomorrow because you guys can share your screens as well. If you've got any issues, we can go through that. And you can join in the chat a little bit more as well, which we can't necessarily do with everybody on the YouTube. All right, guys, look, I hope everyone has a brilliant day. If you need anything, I'll be around in the TRDR Telegram and Discord. Cheers, guys. Speak soon.